Crypto. I honestly don't even know where to begin with this. We were in a beautiful setup, everything was set to go good, and then just hit the fan. And sadly enough, that's just part of crypto and part of the risk that we took. But damn. So this video is not to be necessarily a Bitcoin video or Bitcoin update, but it's more how to survive this bear market when this kind of just happens. So first, just kind of give you something to soothe these feelings that are probably just running crazy, because I'm sure a lot of you guys are kind of freaking out, and me even being in this market, I'm not very happy about this myself, but I've been through this before. So let me just quickly take you through the charts on Bitcoin. Over the new data that we have, we're kind of now officially into a falling wedge pattern. And what I did is took the trend line here, copied it, rolled it right down here, and it lines up perfectly. So on the plus side, we should be getting a bounce right here, right around 16,000, just maybe just a little bit below. Hopefully we can find a bottom there. Now what happens after here? Well, I don't know, man. I mean, we will probably try to come back up to this area around 19,332. That's the 618 Fibonacci level. So just from the data that we have right now, most likely what will happen is that we will get a bounce from this trend line here and start making our way back up to 17,192 up to around 18,000. I would look for rejection right around here, about 18,685. And if we get lucky to get up to 19,353, that may give us some relief, but I would expect downturn, because as long as we're in this channel until we actually break up and out, which this does have a 68% chance to break to the upside, so that's in our favor. But the question is, when will that happen? All right, and will we keep going down, and will we take another leg down until that happens? So it is very possible for us to come down to around $14,330 if we get rejected up here around 19,000 or even 18,600. That's just what's on the menu, folks. But I wouldn't be too afraid about breaking this area at 16,000, at least not right now. But on the chance that it does, man, I'm telling you, it's not a pretty picture. If that were to happen, let me go out to a bigger time frame. Let's go out to the daily. It's going to bring us down to this level, which could be anywhere around 10,000 like people were calling for. So it's very important for this 16,000 area to hold in the short term until we get a leg up, and then we can look about going about 14,000 through there on another leg down if that's possible. Otherwise, and it could happen where we could get lucky and make it up to the top of this area right around 20,000, and if we can break that, we might get back in the game for some more upside. But right now, who the knows? It has just been one big cluster. I can tell you that on the daily, the indicators are pointing down. The RSI, the good thing we got going for it is that it's coming in at 27. However, the other ones look a little shot and overextended. I'm not expecting a miracle to happen with this. I am expecting us to go sideways and down for a while, but we may get a little bit relief. So keep your hopes up for that and see how that can help you in your strategy. Right now, for the rest of the video, I just want to talk about how do we survive this as investors and traders. The real reason I'm making this video is really, I guess, more for the investors rather than the traders, because we can already tell as far as trading, this is a good time to really kind of sit out. Now, I will say that I did pick up some Bitcoin right through here around 16,000. I view that more as a hold than I do an actual trade, because that's part of my strategy. When Bitcoin goes south and when Bitcoin prices start dropping, rather than focus on any kind of altcoins, I'm collecting Bitcoin and some Ethereum, and I can use that to trade with in Bitcoin pairs as the price goes up and things change. Right now in my strategy, it's mainly Bitcoin that I focus on. The altcoins will take a back seat, other than coins that I'm really trying to invest in, that I'm really trying to accumulate, like Quant, for example. Now that we got a chance to get in cheaper, that's one that I've got my eye on to build a bigger position, because I've got a lot of faith in that one. So that, Sandbox, and I'm going through my list of altcoins of what I got, finding the strongest ones, the ones with the best potential that I believe in, that I want to build up those bags. All the other ones that I've been sitting there holding for long-term or mid-term holds, you know, I just have to suffer through drawdown on those. That's just part of the game. But my real focus is on the ones that I have the most faith in and the ones that I want to increase my bag size in. The smart thing to do is just hold to your capital that you still have. If you still have it, deploy it slowly, because at this point in time, since we made a lower low in Bitcoin, we don't know exactly what could happen. Now, I do have a theory about this, and we could see some more upside, and I'll get into that on a Bitcoin video. But in general, when this happens, lower low, we're looking for maybe a trend back up and then one lower. So we'll not get too excited about any of the altcoins or anything. Now, if you're a diehard trader and just love this stuff, you know, I'm sure that you can find some good deals as Bitcoin comes back up before we drop back down again, if we do. But as for me, I'm taking this a little bit more conservative and just focusing mostly on Bitcoin and Ethereum at this time. The biggest thing I'd like to stress is that when this kind of thing happens, the worst thing that you could do is panic and say, maybe panic sell. And the very worst thing that you can do is sell at the bottom. So if nothing else, I would recommend that you get onto a daily or a weekly time frame, throw up the Bollinger Bands. Let's go to the weekly, because wherever you go with the biggest information, that will give you the most insight. And if you find yourself at the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, say especially right now in the weekly, that's not the time to sell. The time to sell is at the tops. When we come down to the bottoms, more than likely, in most cases, especially on these bigger time frames, those are the places that we're getting ready to get a bounce. So if you're selling here, you could be shooting yourself in the foot. So I know for a lot of you, these times are kind of scary, but when they get the scariest, that's usually the best time to hit that buy button, even though it's really hard to do. So with the prices right now, sub 1600, it's not a bad idea to use this as a dollar cost average point. But, you know, as unpleasant as this is for us as investors with all this drawdown and just sudden price drops, these are some of the most important lessons that you will learn through this experience, through this whole bear market. You are actually earning your stripes now as a crypto OG. When this next cycle comes around and we go through the bull cycle, that's over. We're heading back toward the bear cycle. You are now a crypto OG. You've been through the ringer. You've been through the cycle. You have a better idea of what to expect. And this will help you formulate the mindset, because that's really so hard for us to get into our heads, the mindset. And this will drive in what you need to draw upon to take profits when you start seeing prices go up. Because what happens, prices start going up and we start feeling good. And, you know, it may not actually get us to the point of euphoria, but we're getting to the point where we're saying, yeah, I can see how this can work out. And just when we start feeling like, oh, I'm starting to be a little profitable, boom, they sell and we drop down again. So you've got to scrape off those profits when we get up, when you start feeling a little proud about what you're doing, when you start feeling good. Whenever you want to call somebody and tell them, hey man, I just knocked this trade out. Oh, hey man, I just invested this and it is up like crazy. That's whenever you feel that euphoria, you need to be taking profits. And if you don't, this is the lesson that we learn. We go through pain and drawdown. But if you haven't learned that lesson yet, you're learning it now. And that's one of the most valuable lessons that I can say that you will learn through this whole journey. Because that's about all I got for this particular video. I will be coming out with a Bitcoin analysis video and kind of breaking this down and making some more sense about the new situation that we are in. But for the moment, I just want to tell you, just try not to panic. And if you've lost money, because I know I have through this on some trades and leverage, it's part of the game. And that's part of the cost of our education through this cycle. And even no matter how long that you've been in this game, it's still teaching you lessons as you go. Trade wisely, trade carefully, be very safe, deploy your capital very wisely and slowly during all this. And until next time, my name is Lane, your crypto road dog, reminding you that even on days like today and yesterday, when the markets are down and you're feeling kind of low, you still got this, baby.